Hello, and welcome back. My apologies, I'm somewhat under the weather at the moment. Allergies, smoke from the plant on fire all the time because of the plague of capitalism, vaccine side effects, the accursed heat. It's a lot. Anyways, as always, I have links to my Ko-fi and Redbubble in the description below. If you like what I do and or want my art in your things, you can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. More importantly, we can use our time and money providing aid and support to Palestinians, as they suffer under the latest atrocities of an 80-year-long assault on their human rights. And with the Zionist scum expanding their atrocities, the Lebanese are in need of aid as well. Beyond Israel's genocidal onslaught, there are also atrocities in Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo that can use our support as well. I'll put links for those in the description too. And now, it's showtime. So, over the last few episodes, a lot has changed. Before I move on to the final side quest extravaganza, indulge me as I cover how everything has changed in the world. Most extreme, of course, is the Mechonis. Sucker's just straight up destroyed. So we've lost access to Sword Valley, Galahad Fortress, Mechonis Field, Central Factory, and Eryth. This does create an interesting situation in that we can no longer collect collectibles from these areas. And I mentioned at some point, I'm sure, that I couldn't go up to Colony 6 Reconstruction Level 4 because one of the categories required Mechonis junk. So how do we go about doing that in the late game? What with the Mechonis being that? Miraculously, the item pools for the special areas in Colony 6 have been updated to instead provide this goddamn fence. This goddamn fence. Ricky, help me. Oh, I'm feeling that reduced jump height. Yeah, so I made everyone look like just completely insane, by the way. I don't exactly have a lot for you. And you're kind of normal. I guess. Ricky, help me. Wait, how did you get through here? Oh my god. I watched you go through this hole. Ah. Yes, anyways, what was I saying? Right, the item pools in these areas have been updated to provide the Mechonis items instead. So if you're looking for items, you'll be coming here and resetting the game a lot. Of course, speaking of collectibles, we only have 3 Collectopaedia pages left to fill out. We've had the other page since the beginning for whatever reason. All of these collectibles are acquired via trading. At the point that I'm at, I can fill out all but 2 of these. Let's dig in a bit, shall we? Except for the final collectible, all of these collectibles require an area affinity of 3 stars with the NPC's respective area before they start trading the collectibles.
Hi there.
Sonia offers the Minute Mantises in Colony 9. Minute? 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 It's a bug. It's a bug. We can find it in Colony 9. From her. By the Ether Lamp. Lupa, in Frontier Village in Central Bionis, offers the Love Beetles. Love Beetles. I guess these 2 chuckle nuts just permanent fixtures of junks now. So, that's exciting. Raxet in the Raxet in the Machina hidden village on the Fallen Arm, offers the Angel Engine Wise. Ah. Really? You're standing exactly on the teleport point? What is wrong with you? Who put you here? Anyways, Jurak offers the Thunder Compass here at the Eryth Sea Ether Plant in the Upper Bionis.
Yes?
Thunder Compass. And Makrish, this nightmare woman,
Hi there.
offers the Coins of Fortune, but only after she's been moved to Colony 6. Alexei offers the Golden Cogs, but only after he's in Colony 6. We'll need to reach Housing and Special Level 4 to invite him, so I'm out of luck on that at the moment. God, it's so much prettier at night. How wonderful. Anyways... Drell should be down here, right? Oh, you're being covered up by the lift symbol on the map. Yeah, okay, so, Jarrell, the love source. Yes. The love source is a nightmare to get. It's offered by the high Entian scientist, Jarrell, but only after she's been invited to Colony 6, and requires 5-star affinity with the area. But that's not why it's a nightmare. No. The reason it's a nightmare is that in the entire game, there's literally only one item that is expensive enough to trade for it. Veritas Glyphs, which can only be farmed from super bosses. Even the most powerful of the super bosses only has a 50% chance of dropping them. But guess what? I lied! There's actually 0 items in this entire game that are expensive enough to trade for it. In order to trade for the Veritas Glyph for the Love Source, you'll also need Shulk's Hero Privilege skill, which is in his final skill tree branch, and Ricky's Buy Stuff skill, to increase the sell price of the Veritas Glyphs high enough. How is anyone meant to figure out all of this on their own? It is insane. What? I've never filled out the Sartorial Marsh Collectopaedia? What do you mean? How did that happen? That's strange. That's weird. I could have sworn that I did that. Yeah, I definitely did fill out the Sartorial Marsh Collectopaedia back in episode 64. I don't know why it's empty now. Anyways, I'll deal with that on my own. One of the weirder Collectopaedias that we've had for a while is the Bionis Interior, which was devoid of both collectibles and anything living besides a tutorial nopon. Now that the Bionis has reawakened, however, not only is it, like, real goopy in here, there's also a bunch of new enemies. Jelly Salua, Largo Salua, I think there's a Telethia over there. Vivid and Stan. What's up, bro? Anyways, let's not deal with that right now. There still aren't any collectibles in this area of the BIOS Interior, though. All of them are going to be up in here, in this truly enormous area that we didn't have access to before the reawakening of the Bionis. We did see this little path here, though, back when we first came through, but we can't reach it, even with the reawakened Bionis Interior. There's also new music for this area, so that's cool. More vibrant. The final Collectopaedia for the base game is Prison Island, which we didn't get when we went to it earlier in the story. when it was also devoid of collectibles. Well, the question here becomes, why not? Why did we get the Paedia for the collectible devoid Bionis interior, but we didn't get it for the collectible devoid Prison Island? Consistency! I demand consistency! There are, of course, other changes in the Bionis areas, not nearly enough for the multiple blows inflicted by the Mechonis, as well as the Bionis itself moving about, but I understand why. Remaking every map to be absolutely ruined would have been well outside of the scope and budget for the game. Completely unfeasible. I would have liked more than the Tephra cave map to have changed, though. There's new paths north of the Spring of Grief, with new terrible enemies that will just absolutely rock my shit. And north of Vilia Lake, through this big dead-end area that we had to go to before. There'll be another quest chain in this area when we get farther ahead. I mean, look at this. This is a nightmare. They are sound types though, so we can sneak through. I'm not going to, though. There's no point. There's no point for me at the moment. There's a window up there. Here's some big changes, though. Say hello to the Telethia. They're just infesting Eryth Sea now. And they're pretty high level, too, so watch out for that. More importantly, we've lost the ability to fast travel to and within Alcamoth. We can still enter via the teleporter, which will be important for a few side quests later. The city is also infested with Telethia. And as we saw during the escape from the Mechonis, most if not all of these Telethia are certainly the former Entian residents. If we duck into the affinity chart and check in with the upper Bionis corner, you can see how a bunch of these NPCs are grayed out. Yeah, like half of the Hyentia are dead. Children included. It's super fucking grim. The survivors of the Telethia transformation attack thing that the Bionis released have scattered into the other areas of the Bionis. I mentioned last episode that if you hadn't brought the Colony 6 refugees back to Colony 6 before completing Mechonis Core, they'd have returned by themselves. This is because a bunch of the Hyentia survivors wind up hunkering down in the refugee camp. You can actually see the general location of each of the named Hyentian NPCs at a glance in the affinity chart. The color of the circle indicates which region they are currently in. Like Zell Argentis, she's in Central Bionis at the moment. Elior is in Colony 6, and a number of them are still within the Eryth Sea area. Other places that the Hyentia have sought refuge in are Satural Marsh, as we saw before, Frontier Village. Oh, Don Argentis. You know, I don't think I've actually met you before. I always wanted to live in peaceful surroundings. To have it come true in this way is slightly ironic, don't you think? Ah! Goodbye. Thank you for that loud noise. Valak Mountain, where we've got a number of people, including the two adventurers that we were sent to rescue from certain death on Valak Mountain. Why are they back here? Stop jumping. And here in Eryth Sea, which I just feel is courting disaster, frankly. There's a bunch of Telethia in Eryth Sea at the moment. And you're not that far from Alcamoth. So... Oh, and Argentis. It's not all doom and gloom, however. If we come to the port on Digit 2 and the Fallen Arm, we can find Bozatrox, who reunited with her beau Zarkort after leaving the Machina refuge in Mechonis Field. So long as you've completed her quest, Best Boots. If you didn't complete it before completing Mechonis Core, she'd have died when the Mechonis was destroyed. I might show that off in the next episode. I'll be covering all the differences that occur if you don't complete the Alcamoth quests. How was that? If you don't complete the Alcamoth quests before Mechonis Core, though that means I'll need to speed run through on that extra save that I've been keeping. What's up, Bozatrox? I came back to be with Zarkort, but lately, I don't know. I mean, I still like him a lot, and I know he loves me. Is this really what you're talking about right now?
Me?
It's like there's something missing. Not enough excitement, I guess. The thrill just isn't as strong as it used to be. I don't know, man. That was probably real thrilling. Did you want to stay in there?
Yes?
Bozatrox came back. I couldn't believe my eyes. I ain't letting her out of my sight ever again. That's probably a little... That's a little creepy, man. Kind of possessive.
Yes?
Probably not cool. I felt like my cardiac system would fall when the Mechonis moved. Fail? I'm not wearing my glasses at the moment, because I have my cold hat on, and they get in the way. Well, it's not so cold anymore, so on go the glasses, I guess. I felt like my cardiac system would fail when the Mechonis moved. If Bozatrox was still there when it happened, she would have... It doesn't bear thinking about. Isn't she like having an emotional affair with Theo?
Right.
Theo? You lot fell from Sword Yeah, I've already spoken with you. You're not going to talk about the Mechonis exploding?
All right.
Dope. Cool, man. Let's look at the Replica Monado. It's a clunky looking thing. Why is it green? The fact that it's green is weird. It's also a downgrade in terms of power, with noticeably reduced minimum and maximum attack values, but I guess that's to be expected when you trade over from the weapon of a literal god. There are some benefits in exchange, though. The replica does have 25 physical and ether defense, as well as a 5% block rate, compared to the Monado 2's 0 in all three. And it does still have the Monado's 10% crit rate, so that's nice. But hey! Now that we're replicating the godly powers of the Monado with science, why stop at just 1? Why not say 6? For that, though, we'll need to progress the story just a smidge. For whatever reason, Vanea is holding out on us until we arrive at the Bionis interior landing site, which is in an area of the interior that we can't get to from the part that we can already access.
Hello.
What's up? Just before he died, Echo changed back to how he once was. How he was when he was kind and adored by all. It was Shulk who returned him to his former self. Thank you. Dope. Anyways. Oh, Tharon.
Yes?
The place is starting to look like a proper colony again. Great! Yeah, let's talk about this real fast. Mikkel, take us. We're ready to fly to the boss. Shall we head there now? Rock on, man.
It's the inside of the Bionis.
It looks quite different from when we entered via the marsh.
The Bionis is regaining its biological functions.
Must be because Zanza woke it up. Then we find Zanza and stop him.
looks so stupid. Ricky's a pineapple. Cool. So here's the. Oh wow, that's much higher up than I thought. Anyways, are you offering it now, or is that something else? What's happening in there? Vanea. Dope.
Hello?
Is the Replica Monado to your satisfaction? There is something that I have not yet told you. There are 5 other prototypes in addition to the replica I gave you. Tell hereupon, Ricky. Tell! Yeah, I'd like to know more too. I could make them if you had the time and necessary materials. What do you think? Would you like me to make them? Replica Monado 1. Please take these 5 designs. They are prototypes and may be somewhat difficult to wield. They must be used correctly. But once mastered, they are truly formidable weapons indeed. Replica Monado 2. Replica Monado 3. Why was the first one separate from the other ones? 4 and 5. Dope. Technically, these are Colony 6 quests. We're just able to get them from Vanea wherever she is. Let's talk about these Replica Monados. Replica 1 is named Rudra. Rudra's specialty is attack stability, with its minimum attack stat being very close to its maximum attack stat. It has less native crit rate at 5%, but the higher minimum attack easily makes up for that with glorious consistency. Each of the replica quests require you to collect 3 materials, and Replica 1 is one of the easier ones to complete. The Lucky Fang is farmed from Green Ferris in Sator Marsh during the night. I think there's a unique somewhere that you could also hunt, but it would be stronger, so... Caterpile Silk can be acquired from Royal Caterpiles in the Windy Cave beneath the 2nd level of the Bionis Lake, though they can also be traded for. Dorothy offers them for trade at max affinity with Colony 9.
Oh, hi.
Caterpile Silk. Great. And conveniently, if you haven't reached that level of affinity yet, Sylviane offers them as her overtrade item for 5,290 G. Ardoon Elderbeards can be acquired from Magnus Ardoon on the Bionis Leg. They're fairly beefy enemies, and like really aggressive. But this is well within our reach at this point in the story. We're just a little shy of it being a yellow type enemy. Oh, I thought your visor was like a heart emoticon that popped up for some reason. I don't know. I've made you all look ridiculous. Replica 2 is named Agni for some reason. I personally don't associate the name Agni with this replica's specialty. Blocking. Agni has double the defenses of the original replica, at 50 each, as well as a big 25% block rate. These bonuses are countered by a reduced 5% crit rate, as well as a massively reduced minimum attack stat, decreasing overall damage output. You can use a high-level attack stability gem to bring that minimum back up to near where the original replicas is, but then you're using a gem slot for that, so... This replica quest requires... Hello. Telethia are here, I guess. That's nice. What the hell? Well, that wasn't quite what I was asking for, but hey, they're here. Kyle Lexos. These things drop the Ocean Elixir of Life. They appear at the Freight Road in Colony 6 during rain or thunderstorms, I guess. This can be traded for if you wish. Really? 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 Why did they reduce the jump height? I don't understand. Atael, who escaped to Frontier Village after Alcamoth fell, offers the Ocean Elixir of Life at max affinity with Central Bionis. Right, buddy? You're having a bad time. Where's your sister? Your father is dead. He's real dead. You'll never see him again. So fucking grim. Vidian also offers it for trade at max affinity with Upper Bionis, but only when she's in Eryth Sea. Currently, however, she is trapped in Alcamoth, so sucks for her, I guess. Immortal Moss can be farmed from Satorl Tortas at the Altar of Fate in Satorl Marsh. It's north of the Silent Obelisk. And only during the day. They only show up during the day. Another option, is Armored Rockwell, this unique at Filiera Hill on the Bionis Leg. It only shows up during rainstorms. You don't have an aggro type. Will you attack me? No. Interesting. Okay. Quadwing treasures can be farmed from Grove Quadwings in the Barren Moor area of the Satorl Marsh, also north of the Silent Obelisk. My voice is going. And they only show up during the night. Another option. Just give me a bit. I need to get past all this. God, why do you look like that, Charla? It's because I put you in that. Because I put you in that. It looks ridiculous. I think that's the quest that I was talking about when I first showed off this new area. That will be a whiles away, though. Because we are not at a high enough level for this. Let's see. Rowan Quadwings. Rowan Quadwings also offer the Quadwing treasures. However, this can also be traded for. Daytime. Run away from your wife. Yes, Pachipa. Pachipa offers them for trade at max affinity with Central Bionis. Replica 3 is named Abyss, and its specialty is... well, it's basically just a straight upgrade to the original replica. Its actual specialty is that it has a higher maximum attack stat than the others, but at a certain level, all the replicas will reach the stat cap of 999. 999. 3 nines. Yes. Except maybe Replica 5. I'll get to that later. I'm not sure if it... I'm not sure on that. I don't know the math. Eventually, the only thing that will differentiate Abyss from the original replica is that it has a slightly higher crit rate of 15%. Replica Quest 2 is also fairly easy, compared to some of the other ones, a couple of the other ones, 2 of the other ones, actually. And Agni and Rudra are considered the best, most balanced of the 5 alternate replicas. For this replica quest, we'll need to gather Wisp Sunbeads, which can be farmed from Femini Wisps here in the Tephra Cave north of the Spring of Grief. Glacier Elements can be farmed from Frost Nebula, which can be found in Satorl Marsh near the Sororal statues or Kelshire wetland during fog. It was sure a pain to make the fog appear, so that was irritating. And Hawk's Daylight Spurs can be farmed from Dark and White Hawkses on these little land formations beneath the Ragwell Bridge on the Bionis leg. Right, guys? You assholes. They can also be traded for, though at this point in the story we've lost one option. Bozatrox offered them at 4-star area affinity with the Fallen Arm, but only when she was in Mechonis Field. Since Mechonis Field is gone, we can't really do that anymore. The other option is Jarell, the love scientist, and only after she's been moved to Colony 6. Replica 4 is named Dogma. Its specialty is high crit rate, and is generally viewed as the least useful of the replicas. It has 25% crit rate, the same attack range as the original replica, and 0 defenses and block rate. And you might say, oh, that's not so bad. The Monado 2 was running without those defenses and we were doing just fine. But no. There's 2 things that make Dogma not very good. First, it only has 2 gem slots, one less than the previous replicas and the Monado 2 had. Effectively, Dogma has a permanent critical up 4 gem installed. 4. Not even a level 5 gem. Hell, with a level 5 gem, you can boost Rudra and Agni to the same crit rate stat on top of their other benefits. And secondly, the other big problem with Dogma is its material requirements. The first material that's needed is the demonic Everflame, which can only be acquired from super bosses. There's 2 options. Demon King Dragonia at level 99, which is exclusive to the final quest in the Colony 6 reconstruction process. And Avalanche Abacy at level 120. Avalanche Abacy is the most powerful enemy in the entire game. This makes Dogma's window of utility very, very small, since if you're killing Dragonia or Abacy, you've likely completed most things in this game. It is ridiculous. The other 2 materials aren't as bad. Mammoth horns are farmed from lakelet mammoths in Magna Forest. They're the real big fellas that we can see beneath the bridges. They're pretty high level. Big fucking last Rogel. Big fucking bird. Huge bird. Unpleasant bird. I want to fight you, bird. Get away from me. The last of the items for Replica 4 is the Turkan Elder Medal. And that is uniquely sourced from this unique enemy, Field Altrich, northwest of Crevasse Waterfall on the Bionis leg. There are no other enemies that drop this. Like, we're down here. See Crevasse Waterfall? We came down from Zach's guidepost. Down. There's birds here. It's a big nightmare. It's a whole thing. Just real unpleasant. All for a weapon that isn't very good. Replica 5 is named Saga, and its specialty is an entirely different playstyle for Shulk. Defense. Good lord, Saga provides so much defense. 150 for both physical and ether defenses, 3 times as much as Agni, 6 times as much as the other replicas, sans Dogma, which doesn't have any defenses. It doesn't have as high a block rate as Agni at 15%, but man, if you want Shulk to tank damage, Saga's where it's at. Unfortunately, like Dogma, it only has 2 gem slots. Plus, both its minimum and maximum attack stats are slightly reduced. Its minimum isn't as reduced as Agni's is, but it's still reduced. you're doing much less damage with Saga, which makes sense. Which kind of also makes its whole shtick less relevant, because you're doing less damage. You don't have any arts that draw aggro, so why would you need the defenses? Just AoE stuff, I would imagine. Strangely, unlike its two-slot brother, Dogma, Saga might be the easiest replica to get, given proper planning. Which I didn't do, because I didn't know about it, so I'm out of luck on that front. If you played your cards right, there's only one item that you need to farm for. The Tokelos King Eggs can be farmed from Lake Tokelos on the cliffs near the Zax guidepost during just whenever, just not like rain. These suckers are level 79. They're well within range of the party at this point in the story. We'll be getting within their level range fairly soon. Welcome to Bone Corridor! We're back here for another reason. To stare at something else. Why is there a heart-to-heart here? Lizards, random bat. It's heckin' wimpy in here. Remarkably little things are aggressive in this area. What is that? Musical fanfare? You're gonna kick my ass! There we go, young brogs. Diamond brog eyes are farmed from young brogs in this new area north of Villia Lake. I guess, yeah, down here. Go up here, through the bone corridor. Luckily, most things in this area aren't aggro, and there's plenty of space to run around. Musical fanfare to get to these things. Of course, they're also level 95. So hunting them is very unlikely at this point, but there is an alternative. Peppino offers them as his overtrade item for 8,320 G, but only while he's still in Colony 9. If you've invited him to Colony 6, you'll lose out on that option.
Good day.
Good day. Do you want to make a trade? Fence knives, like bottoms. Auto heal up, blah blah blah. You really don't mind if I take this? I feel bad about it, so take this too. There we go. How did you get that, my guy? Are you secretly a hero? Anyways. Final Marcus! Final Marcus is one of the super bosses. Anyways, that's what we're here for. What we're here to look at is these guys, Glory Slowboses. You can farm yellow Slowbos rocks from them at 3 Sage Summit on Valak Mountain during the day. At level 97, it's lucky that there's an alternative. Unluckily for me, I've already ruined that for myself. During the day, south of the Armor Farms. Why are you at the south of the Armor Farms? You're not a farmer. I'll kill you for your deceit! Yura offers yellow Slobos rocks at 5-star affinity with Upper Bionis. Upper Bionis. He only offers them while he's in Valak Mountain, which only occurs after Mechonis Core if he hasn't been invited to Colony 6, which, as you can see, yeah, he's kind of in Colony 6 right now. So, that's not an option for me. Of course, I also don't particularly care about Saga, so if you do, keep that in mind. Don't bring Yura and Pepino to Colony 6 until after Mechonis Core happens. Well, that'll be it for today. Next time, something else.
Unless I just released the same video again under a different name.